And the Boston Bruins made some news, really surprising to me. They were going to move on from Bruce Cassidy.
You know, time will tell if it's the right move.
This team has been money.
Scores! The Bruins put themselves in a good spot every single season.
Bruce Cassidy, the bench boss here now in Vegas, got this team rolling.
To win it, a backhand and he scores! Mark Stone with the hand-eye coordination.
They're a group to watch this year in the West.
Welcome to On the Fly. I'm Sierra Santos. 6 games to get to from Monday night, but we start with a reunion in Boston. And if the best revenge is success, Bruce Cassidy has served it up ice cold. The Bruins parted ways with their former coach in June. 8 days later, Cassidy found a new home in Sin City, taking over the reins with the Golden Knights. Vegas comes to Boston with the best record in the Western Conference and are tied for the most road wins in the NHL. But the Bees, they haven't slipped either. Boston was the best defensive team under Cassidy's tenure, and this season, they're not only the best defensive squad, but the best team overall, offensively and defensively. On Monday night, Cassidy returned to TD Garden for the first time since his departure.
This is the game of the night in the NHL between Bruce Cassidy's Vegas Golden Knights and Jim Montgomery's Boston Bruins. Wherever he goes, he'll always be part of this franchise's history.
Now Shea Theodore with a wrist shot, put it to the back left, in front, Connor scores! Paul Connor from William Karlsson of the Golden Knights with the lead, a minute 36 in.
Paul Connor gets it moving up in the lineup with Stone and Stevenson, but this is amongst a change. He starts it. Watch the puck protection by Paul Connor while the change is happening. Connor just adjusts himself, finds that pocket of open space, and what a great shot up over that left arm of Swayman for his 3rd of the year.
Both of these team coaches that took over real good teams and off to terrific starts. McAvoy in deep, Pasternak on the wall, eats it across, gave it away. Marchessault with a chance, save, rebound, score! Jonathan Marchessault on his own rebound after Pasternak turned it over. It's 2-0 Golden Knights.
Not much pressure at all on Pasternak, just a bad pass and a great read as Jonathan Marchessault, quick shot off the pad, but a good follow-up as he stays with it. Jonathan Marchessault now goes back-to-back up to double digits with his 10th.
The old division he was part of for a long time. Connor with a wrist shot and he scores! Paul Connor walked right in. 51 seconds into the second, he has his 2nd of the game.
Interesting, we just talked about him being the best player for Vegas in that first period, and he makes another little play in the neutral zone to set this up. And Paul Connor, his 4th of the season, a 2-goal game here, an early goal now in the 2nd.
And now Marchand into the offensive end. Carlo on high, down low Bergeron, trying to fit to the Marchand, and he scores!
The Bruins, patient and conscientious.
They felt like it was going to come if they just kept pushing. And this is classic Bruins hockey this year. 5 guys involved. Marchand buries it firmly to get the Bruins within striking distance.
Half a minute to go in the 2nd. Pasternak pivots and scores! It's 3-2! They've gotten off the mat!
Wants Vegas to play deep in their own zone and see if they can handle it. And this is just skill extraordinary. With that puck right off his right hip. Now he's at the dot and he just rips it past Thompson with Bergeron going to the net.
We've got a barn burner finish waiting for you. Bergeron to one knee, goes down over a stick, and it's going to be 5-on-3 for a minute 35. A golden chance to tie the game for Boston.
Vegas penalty number 2, 2-minute stripping.
5-on-4 now. Hall turns and scores! Taylor Hall ties it! The Bruins have come from 3 goals down to even the score in the 3rd.
Just as the first penalty expires, this is going to be a 5-on-4 goal. They threw a number of different looks on this 5-on-3 in order to score a goal to tie the game. I mean, it would have been nice to have more power play time if you scored in that earlier looks that you did create with the man advantage, but you'll definitely take this, and it's Taylor Hall with his own rebound.
2-minute power play, 4-on-3 for Boston.
All into the zone. Feeds it in the middle. DeBrusk, touch pass, and Zacha stopped by Thompson.
The play in front, save off Zacha as he gets a shot up high.
Most of the crowd on their feet in the Garden. Riley Smith trying to win it for Vegas in the bottom of the fifth. Scores! Riley Smith wins it and deals the Bruins their first loss on home ice this season.
Riley Smith, the ex-Bruin, makes Bruce Cassidy a winner in his return to TD Garden.
The NHL record home winning streak to start a season comes to an end at 14 for the Bruins as they drop a close one in a shootout to former head coach Bruce Cassidy and the Golden Knights. Paul Cotter notches his first career 2-goal game to help Vegas secure just their third win in 9 games all time against the Bruins. Here's an emotional Cassidy after the game.
Listen, that's something that I'll get choked up about, obviously, probably in about 3 seconds. But like I said, I appreciate it. It's that simple. I appreciate it. I did what I could here to help the team win. And now that you brought it up, I'm used to hearing dirty water at the end of the game, so I'm glad I didn't hear it tonight. So, but anyway, yeah. I mean, no, the streak means really it's irrelevant to me. It's just nice to come in and play well and win.
The Knights capture their league-leading 12th road win of the season, leapfrogging the surging Devils. They are now just 9 wins away from tying their total from last season, and they're only 27 games into the season. In those 12 wins, they have scored 52 goals, which also leads the league. We welcome Mike Kelly to the show to break this one down. Bruce Cassidy getting the win in his return to Boston. Logan Thompson was huge for Vegas, weathering that Bruins pushback, Mike.
100%. And that's a huge win for Cassidy, obviously, given the circumstances of how it all came to be. And then going back there once a year and he gets the win. So he can definitely thank his goaltender in this game. Logan Thompson was outstanding for the Vegas Golden Knights, and he just continues to be this season. He's been great for them. A lot of people didn't know what to expect with this young guy who had about 20 games of NHL experience coming into the season. But he was dialed in. He was fantastic. And like you said, the Bruins pushed 3 straight goals. Momentum's going in their way. They're at home where they haven't lost. And then it goes to overtime. Then it goes to a shootout. And Logan Thompson shuts the door. So 40 saves in this game. And you look at goals saved above expected. He's right at about 1. This is a game that went to overtime. So the fact that he saved a goal above expected literally is the difference in winning or losing a hockey game. So first star of the game for me, absolutely, Logan Thompson.
A couple of goals from Paul Cotter for Vegas. How did he make the most of his opportunity on that top line?
Yeah, he was great. I mean, you're thinking no Jack Eichel coming into this game, and you know it's got to be serious because this is a game in Boston, and Eichel wants to be in that game. Cotter comes in. Welcome back to the score sheet, Cotter. He hadn't scored in 10 games, any points, but he makes the most of that opportunity, like you said, playing up in the lineup on that top line and scoring 2 goals, getting Vegas out to that early lead. Now, again, Boston came back, as we know, but still got them to overtime and got them in a position to earn 2 points. So this was a terrific game from him. He was skating really well. You see that by the entries into the offensive zone. Got a couple of those prime looks from the slot and buried both of them. So I don't think you could ask anything more from Cotter, given his role that he was put into in this hockey game.
Okay, for the Bruins, some really out-of-character turnovers. How did that end up doing them in?
Yeah, you mentioned it at the start of the show, right? Best defensive team in the NHL. And they've been that for a long time in Boston. That's really a big part of their identity is the details of the game and not putting themselves in situations where you are allowing your opponent to be gifted opportunities. And that bit them a couple times in this game. So we talk about a game that goes to overtime. These are the things that end up making a difference. David Pastrnak, very uncharacteristic on the wall here. He's under a bit of pressure. He wants to make that play to the middle for the breakout, which teams do all the time, but his head's down. He's not looking up and does not recognize the threat there. And Marchessault goes in, buries his own rebound. So that's one for the Boston Bruins. And then an outlet pass here into the neutral zone just gets tipped up into Vegas's possession, and they start attacking now with that down player. You got a little mini 3-on-2. There's Mr. Cotter again. So you don't see that very often from the Boston Bruins. Again, such an elite defensive team, a team that's very detail-oriented. But when you're playing a team like Vegas, they're going to get their own looks. You start gifting them a couple as well, they can make you pay, and that's what happened.
Yeah, that's not a team you can afford mistakes against. All right, thanks, Mike. Don't go anywhere. We're going to check in with you in just a little bit, but let's get back to the highlights with the Avalanche taking on the Flyers.
Either way, a power play is exactly what the doctor ordered here for the Avalanche to start this game.
Power play, and this is what the Flyers really have to avoid.
Ian McKinnon play catch. McCarr shoots and scores! It was deflected down deep, I believe. JT Comfort and Alex Newhook were standing right in front of the crease, and Newhook should get credit for this goal. His 100th career National Hockey League game.
We'll move it back out to Sanheim. Sanheim, lots of room, moves in, fires and scores! A laser beam from Sanheim, and it's tied at 1.
Lawton with some open space finds Sanheim, and the Avalanche has 4 skaters there as Rantanen was still trying to get over to the bench. Sanheim takes full advantage of that, takes the ice in front of them. Flyers have tied it up.
Nathan McKinnon leaving the bench, and earlier on that power play, he had taken a shot from the blue line and immediately grabbing at his left side, kind of looking around, and then he came back out for another shift, started skating up the ice, and then immediately turned around and headed to the bench, and he's now heading off. So the Avs just again cannot seem to catch a break. That would be an undescribable loss to this team.
Verby with Lazinski. Verby the shot, save, rebound! He scores! Lazinski pounding it home! And the Flyers take a 2-1 lead. NHL goal number 2 for Tanner. First power play of the game for the Flyers. Play it in, Frost back to the Angelo again. Little wrister, score! The screen set up in front by Cates. And the Flyers power play has tallied in back-to-back games. It's 3-1 Philadelphia.
And that puck just finds its way past the glove hand of Georgiev.
The Flyers now with 3 unanswered goals to take the 3-1 lead.
Picked off by Newhook, looking to spring him in. He's got Tout. Cutting it on goal. Saved by Carter Hart.
Oh man, he just robs Count. Brilliant pass by Newhook. And Count had it go off the blocker. Oh my goodness.
So the Flyers power play, which has tallied tonight, gets its 3rd opportunity. Now Lawton the shot wide. This way, Tippett shot. He scores! Tippett rams home the carom. It's a power play goal, the 2nd of the night.
Off the boards for Rantanen. Mikko trying to work his way down the slide with a shot. He scores! Oh my goodness gracious! Mikko Rantanen going coast to coast.
Well, this was absolutely spectacular. With 2:13 to go, the Avs still have a chance.
Avs net is empty. Comfort off the boards. Taves comes off. Sunny pass shot. Score! Alex Newhook rips it home to make it a 4-3 game. The Avs have gotten 2 on the board, and they trail by 1. Georgiev is on the bench again for the extra attacker.
And Sanheim will move it ahead. They got the empty net. Hayes holds the pass across, and Konechny will score.
Some empty netters mean more than others.
The Flyers grabbed their first win of December, taking down the defending champs. Travis Konechny has a goal in 3 straight games since returning from the IL. That's just his 3rd career 3-game goal streak. More concerning for Colorado was the departure of Nathan McKinnon. Here's Jared Bednar after the game.
It's a guy that plays 25 a night, right? So in every situation, so you got to juggle everything. Do the best you can. You just got to keep grinding and find guys to contribute, like Alex Newhook. He had a decent night, skating the puck, made some plays, gets to the hard areas of the ice to score a couple of goals, one in the power play. Guys are going to have to step up. It's going to be a challenge. It's been a challenge for us. It seems to be getting worse at this point, but you just can't put contingencies on your work and your effort and your attitude. You got to go out and play hard every night regardless of the cards you're dealt.
To add insult to another injury, Nathan McKinnon left the game against the Flyers in the first period with an upper body injury and did not return. This is not what the Avs needed, as they have been dealing with a slew of injuries this season, including their captain, Gabe Landeskog.
Sure, they're tired about having meetings. The meetings aren't for winners. That's all I can say. This team's got to find a way and get to a harder game when adversity kicks them in the teeth a little bit.
But the Rangers just didn't have the kind of life and urgency, want in their game think our goals pretty much every game gives us a chance to win. It's up to us to take advantage of it.
Will the real St. Louis Blues please stand up?
On paper, this team obviously should not be doing any of this. And that's what's got to be so frustrating with this team.
The struggle is real when it comes to the Blues and Rangers, though it's for different reasons. For New York, the offense has been stale, scoring 2 or fewer goals in 14 of their games this season. And in their last 6 games, they're 1-4-1, with 5 of those matchups coming against teams who failed to make the playoffs last season. As for St. Louis, defense has been their Achilles heel. They're 1-5 in their last 6 contests, allowing at least 4 goals in each of those matches and giving up at least 3 goals in a single frame in all of them.
Levo's pass deflected by Sammy Blais. Rangers have it back. Gauthier across. Schneider shoots. Score! There you go. Take the shot when it's there. Braden Schneider puts the Rangers on the board. Thomas to Leddy. And Blues thought it went in. It's a goal. The Blues have scored. The puck was loose. There was a scramble on the goal line. The Blues put it in, and it's Pavel Buchnevich against his former team. Nevertheless, Rangers get the power play. Fox shoots. He scores! Adam Fox. It's a power play goal. And the Rangers lead it 2-1. Underway, second period. Now, this will be interesting. And the Blues come out and score right away. That's how interesting that is. Vladimir Tarasenko. Panarin. And he scores! All right, things are happening. Looks like Vincent Trocheck may have tipped that Panarin shot. The two guys who were traded for each other just had a little collision outside the blue line. Sammy Blais came over with a hit, and now Tarasenko went after Trouba. Wow. That stirs it up.
All Tarasenko, or all Trouba did was block the shot.
Maybe Trouba's saying, you gotta be kidding.
Now back to the line again. As Falk waits. Quickly to Kyrou, shoots, and he scores! What a blast by Kyrou! Into the top corner. And the Blues have tied the game with a power play goal. Kyrou, good feed into Shen. Down the wing, back to Kyrou to Shen on goal. Rebound O'Reilly, he scores! O'Reilly! And the Blues have taken a 4-3 lead.
Holy jumping, that is a thing of beauty.
Rangers take it back. DeAndre Miller shooting. Score! That's gotta feel good. DeAndre Miller with the shot. His first goal of the season. O'Reilly trying to clear, stop by Zibanejad. He scores! It may have been tipped in front. Lafreniere. And the Rangers have the lead again. Rangers had a couple of very good penalty kills. Then the Blues came through.
But
on that shot by Kyrou.
But he still did get the stick in the hands. And
takeaway. Here comes Kreider to the net. Scores! Short-handed goal by Chris Kreider. Rangers lead 6-4.
There's emotion in here now. This building is going crazy.
Yes, sir. The final seconds tick off. And it's a win for the New York Rangers. It wasn't easy, but the Rangers able to come back, and for the first time this season, they've won a game when they trailed going into the third period.
The Rangers take care of the Blues in a high-scoring affair. Artemi Panarin gets his 103rd career multi-assist game. It is now 1 point shy of 600. And this stretch for the Blues has only gotten worse, as they've now allowed 6 goals in 3 straight games for the first time since October of 1996. Now let's hear from Gerard Gallant after the game.
Try and spark something again, and like we talked about, the two kids deserve some opportunities, and I thought they played really well. And then in the third period, we found a way to get to the net and a couple deflection goals, and so it was 3 complete different periods, and we'll take the W. It's a big win for us.
The last couple of games, Drew has done a great job of kind of calming us down and making us realize we're still in these games. As the young players of the team, obviously, just bringing our game and doing whatever we can to help the team win is the biggest thing.
It's been a struggle for the Blues in their own defensive zone in recent games. Matter of fact, they've been struggling in single periods alone. They've allowed at least 3 goals in a period in 7 straight games, becoming the 5th team to do so in the last 32 years, and that's not the side of history you want to be in. But we welcome back Mike Kelly. Kells, more of the same from St. Louis. They're having real issues keeping the puck out of the net right now. Why?
Yeah, well, look, the team defense hasn't been great. The biggest thing's goaltending, though. And, we wouldn't be talking about so many losses if the goaltending was better. So I'm not going to absolve the team defense here. The team hasn't played great, but at the same time, just bad goals against that have a real impact in the game. And in a game like this, can really ultimately decide it because there was just a lot going on both ways. The Miller goal right here, to me, was the backbreaker. That's a shot from the point that gets through clean. Biddington knows it right away. You can see his reaction. That ties the game for the Rangers. That gives them life. They come back and they win. And, you go to November 23rd, where they've lost 6 of 7 games. The Blues have given up 4 more goals in all of them. The Blues have the worst save percentage in the NHL. And if you isolate just that goaltending impact away from team defense, they're 31st in goals saved above expected, which is below expected. So they can play better, no question. They need a game where they just get some big saves and don't have those kind of goals going against them.
And for the Rangers, a much-needed win on home ice. But it wasn't all smooth sailing for the Blue Shirts, Mike.
It wasn't. St. Louis offensively, for a lot of the game, they had the better chances, and they were certainly in a position to win this game. But we heard Gerard Gallant talk about those adjustments when he put Mika Zibanejad with the kids, and right away that made a difference. They score a couple goals as that line, so I thought that was a terrific adjustment there. And overall, the Rangers did enough to win the game. So I give full marks to Gerard Gallant for that decision. Also, how about this? Alexis Lafreniere, he takes another O-zone penalty. It's his 3rd in his last 6 games. Blues score on the power play. And boom, the kid comes back and scores an absolutely huge goal. So a bit of redemption. Chris Kreider as well, not able to tie O'Reilly up in front of the net on this goal. He comes back and he scores a shorty. So a couple good redemption stories in this game. And this is watch the emotion on Chris Kreider's face after he scores this. This is what has been missing at MSG for a while. We heard Jacob Trouba after the Chicago loss a couple days ago. They're wondering where the pushback is. Where's the passion? Where's the fight? We saw that in this game finally. So this is the type of game that I think you can look at potentially a week, 2 weeks, a month down the road and say that's where things turned around for the New York Rangers.
Yeah, that's the type of energy that definitely becomes infectious. All right, thanks so much, Kells. Let's get you out to Edmonton for the Caps and Oilers.
We're expecting fireworks in the form of Alex Ovechkin, the Washington Capitals, and Connor McDavid of the Edmonton Oilers, who played a 5-4 beauty last month. Washington will get the extra attacker here.
Turns to Darnell Nurse, and this was on the entry into the zone.
Over to Ovechkin, wrist shot, one-off glove save Skinner. Oshie angled, back to Ovechkin. Carlson, wrist shot, save Skinner, rebound covered against Strome. Fantastic work delivered by Stuart Skinner.
Draisaitl spinning backhand pass. McDavid just missed there. Follow-up chance, and Lindgren was waiting at the post.
Wherewithal to hold on to this, go to the backhand side, throw it right out to the slot, and McDavid full speed tries to test the glove of Lindgren and just misses wide.
Open Barry, wrist shot off balance. Sitting on 99 goals. Kulak winds and fires and scores.
This one's blocked, the shot by Barry. But the Oilers stay with this. Great retrieval right there. Nugent Hopkins look at the screen in front of Lindgren by Janmark. Just terrific. And Kulak takes the middle of the ice in one stride, gets it away. There's no chance for Lindgren.
In tight here, Eller to the forehand. Score! Lars Eller.
That is a sweet deke by Lars. Look at the smiles all around. Good little feather of the puck. Mantha, a big part of that. And at the end, it's Lars Eller. They're going to take a penalty. The Edmonton Oilers
is not moving smoothly to the bench.
Cross-checking penalty upcoming.
Back to Carlson and a steal by McDavid. Short-handed breakaway. In on Lindgren. Scores.
Once he gets a step, you're not catching him in this regard. And on the breakaways, we talked to him this morning about this. This was a little bit of an Achilles heel for him early in his career. But man, has he ever figured it out? Little fake, quick shot off the fly.
Evgeny looking for a seam. Kuznetsov on feet. Strome inside. Score! Beautiful passing for an Oshie slam dunk.
They answered your call, buddy. You said they had to respond with a power play goal. Just a real nice package he's showing here tonight against Edmonton.
Points in 4 of his last 5. Headman Protas is in again. Protas drops it off. Closing step shot. Score! Spectacular passing play for Nick Dowd.
Here's a pass up the middle. Dowd hits Protas. It's a breakaway. Protas pays it back and gives it right back to the passer. That is a star quality play by a young player, sensing that he's going to be run off the rails there at the end.
With the Oilers down 1. Change of pace on Gustafsson. Trapped in the corner. Back to the point. Barry across. Loading up. Shooting. And that went off a skate. And kicked back the other way.
Great job by Lindgren and the rest of the Caps. Smiles all around. I mean, they deserve a big applause for this effort here tonight against Edmonton.
The Caps grab this series win against the Oilers, both being one-goal games. Connor McDavid gets his 22nd goal of the season, trailing only Jason Robertson for the league lead. It was also his first shorty since March 16th, 2019. Meanwhile, 8 different Caps players grab a point, and TJ Oshie gets a power play goal for the first time since October 20th. Mike, the Caps had trouble generating offense this season, but that didn't seem to be the case on Monday. 50 shots on goal for the Caps in this one, but Stuart Skinner kept the Oilers in this one.
Man, he was unbelievable, Stuart Skinner. I know the Oilers lost this game, but we got to talk about him. He was so good. A career-high 47 saves, and he faced some high-danger looks in this game. Couple breakaways. He was outstanding. So a tip of the hat to Stuart Skinner for his great effort in this game. Almost enough to get the Oilers at least into overtime, try to get him a point. He was outstanding. But like you said, the Washington Capitals have not, they've battled so many injuries. They haven't been a fantastic offensive team this year. Alexi Protas, that rush right there, he had a couple of these kind of looks in this game. He decides to dish that time. Game-winning goal to Nick Dowd. So I thought Protas, the big man, was absolutely outstanding for the Capitals. And again, 50 shots on goal for this Washington team. That looks pretty nice. They outshot the Oilers 19-5 from the house. A game that they deserve to win. And if it wasn't for Stuart Skinner, who's been really good for the Oilers this season with Jack Campbell faltering, this game probably could have been 4, maybe 5-2 for Washington.
Good stuff. Thanks, Kels. All right, coming up, the Montreal Canadiens came out flying in the first period, opening the scoring with 4 straight goals. Game over, right? Not so fast. Highlights are next. Welcome back to On the Fly. Things got wild in Vancouver between the Habs and Canucks.
Looking for Caulfield. Suzuki in the corner. Off escape, right to Harris. He's got space. Harris, a cross shot. Goal! Surprise, surprise. Cole Caulfield buries another one. 1-0 Montreal.
I think you're saying that facetiously, Brian.
Back up top as Armia's out of the box. Caden Gooley up quickly. Suzuki with a step, waiting, shoots, score! In the glove, out of the glove, back of the net. As Slick Nick has made it 2-0.
We saw a great play by Jordan Harris on the first goal. A great play by Caden Gooley on the second goal.
Mike Matheson curls around as Besser's out of the box. Suzuki, wrister tip, score! Beautiful setup in front. Sean Monahan's got one. 3-0 Montreal. Big part of Pizzetta's game, playing that physical hockey. Harris, Pizzetta, score! Friendly fire off Myers. I don't know if Pizzetta got a touch, but you know the Habs would love to give it to him.
And Pizzetta now has chased Spencer Martin from the net.
Harris trying to pass, intercepted neatly by Garland, who tips one ahead for Kuzmenko. Back to Garland, in front, he beats, he scores. The drought is over for Connor Garland, and a muted celebration. Understandably so. Canucks are on the board, but still trailing by 3. Besser up the near side, behind the net to Pettersson. Elias Pettersson looking in front. Pass to McCann, he scores. Goals coming under 2 minutes apart. McCabe from Pettersson, and it's 4-2. Passes back, Stillman takes a look. Griswold blocked in front. Where's the puck? It's in the equipment of Nils Höglander. Now dropped it down, tried to go a blind backhand pass for Horvat. That didn't work. Stillman, Griswold, tip. Horvat scores on the rebound. Number 20. Höglander tipped it on goal, and the captain was right there to make it a 1-goal game. Montreal player broke his stick on the faceoff. Canucks will try to take advantage. That was Dvorak. Here's Pettersson across. They score! McCann, his second of the game. And it's back to square in Vancouver. Can you believe it? Montembeault blocked by Stanika. Montembeault scrambling back. Stanika comes up front, and he scores! Unassisted effort. That was all Jack Stanika, who blocked the rim around from the goaltender and put it in as Montembeault was scrambling back. The Canucks have the lead.
A roller at 15 miles an hour.
Hughes sent one to the blue line. It went off Jackine into the Vancouver bench.
They're trying to decide where this faceoff's going to be. It's got to be, I would think, outside.
Well, it went off his arm inside.
Oh, Wes McCauley is saying inside. The linesmen were talking it over, and Wes McCauley's making that decision.
See if it lines up costing them. Here's a backhander, and they score! It does cost them. Dvorak poked it in, and Bruce Boudreau is furious with referee Wes McCauley. Game tied at 5.
And you can see that's all he's complaining about right now is where that faceoff was. And I tend to agree with Bruce.
As Anderson weaves in, 2-on-1. Anderson shoots, stop, rebound, score! Off the follow-up, Josh Anderson, and the Montreal Canadiens have the lead at 6-5.
92 seconds left.
I might put the goalie at the blue line.
No.
And then get to the bench, but it's not going to matter because they won the draw. Smart move. Here's Miller in front, tipped in. Andrei Kuzmenko. Minute 25 to go, and it's 6-up. Canadians come up with it, get it back to Matheson. Pettersson knocked him down. Just going to get away with it, too. Pettersson attacking from the side. He scores! Oh, man. No. Okay, both teams have some beef.
Yeah, they have a beef. Marty St. Louis goes right to the dressing room.
13 seconds into overtime. And for just the third time in their history, the Canucks have won a game, coming back from 4 or more goals at any point. Third time ever.
Elias Pettersson gets the overtime game winner powered by Energizer in a wild comeback win for the Canucks. His goal came just 13 seconds into overtime to become the fastest goal to start an OT period in Canucks history. Meanwhile, Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield both grabbed their team-leading 14th goals of the season. Here's Pettersson after the win.
Elias, as far as crazy games go, where does this one rank in your NHL career?
Definitely up there. I mean, obviously great from the team to come back from that first period. But then on the other hand, we can't let those first periods happen. But nice to get a win and learn from the bad things and take the good things for next game.
The thing that I'm going to really take away from it, and it's happened a couple times now, is I think our team is starting to believe that they can, you know, when they get down, they can still make a game of it, and that's a belief that if you have that, I mean, you're never out of it. So that's an important thing that you can take from a game like this.
An absolutely crazy finish as the Vancouver Canucks rally from a 4-goal deficit. This was just the third time in club history and first in nearly a half-century that they won while trailing by 4 or more goals in a game. Let's get out to Calgary for the Flames and Coyotes.
Back to Calgary at the blue line, quickly across. Tanev into traffic. They score! Tipped in front. Dylan Dubé on the redirection, and it's 1-0 Calgary.
Watch Dubé right in front. A beautiful deflection. He's turning around backwards. Not the easiest way to redirect the puck. and the Flames have that 1-0 lead. Good shot, easy shot to deflect from Chris Tanev.
Huberdeau all the way back to the blue line. Anderson. Good movement on this power play. Flames have spent the entire first minute in the offensive zone to Foley. Huberdeau in front for Kadri. Fan, second chance, they score! Lindholm tucks it in, and it's 2-0 Flames.
And the tired Coyote penalty killers couldn't recover. Huberdeau misses his first pass to Kadri. Finally, Kadri gets it, and he fans on it, and as luck would have it, it goes right onto the tape of Lindholm right there. That was not the intended pass by Kadri, but nonetheless, does it really matter, Rick? It went right onto the tape of Lindholm.
They don't ask how.
No, they don't.
Matias Maccelli will look to move it. Little drop, Gostisbehere to the front, and they score! Nick Bukestad, I believe, deflected it in front, and it's a one-goal game.
Again, face-off win. Maccelli comes in, kicks it back to Chychrun. Maccelli gets it, draws all sorts of attention, and then he's going to just drop this one to Gostisbehere right to the front of the net. Just an innocent wrist shot.
Keller from behind the net. He surveys. Keller to the circle, passing across. Stetcher stopped by Vladar. Stetcher crept in for the point. Vladar makes a big save on that backdoor play.
Stetcher gets everything on that, too. That's a difficult shot to make, and he does it perfectly right on net.
Comes around. And now Keller. Keller holds across. Chychrun. He scores!
He waited that extra half a second. He's going to get this puck right here. Half a second just to allow Chychrun to get open. It creates separation with that great speed of his. Comes down that left side. Look at him get on his horse. He wants it. Bangs the stick on the ice. And he buries this.
Huberdeau down low with the pass. Kadri scores! The power play delivers again. Awesome Kadri makes it 3-2 Calgary.
Wow, what a nice looking power play. They had 3 good looks on this power play and then just kept attacking. I like this play where they're going to go on the left flank to Huberdeau. Watch Toffoli just sort of kick out and he spots Kadri. And there's that lead we were just talking about, Rick. 3-2.
Flames get it in. Here's Huberdeau. Plays it across to Foley. Lindholm to Foley. And it's stopped by Vejmelka. Last second. That was destined 5-0, but that matter. Flames. Late power play goal by Kadri. Knock off Arizona by a score of 3-2.
When we come back, the New Jersey Devils have been hockey's best surprise this season, and our own E.J. Radek caught up with their general manager on Monday. We'll hear from Tom Fitzgerald after the break.
And the Rangers have the lead again for the 4th time in the game. It wasn't easy, but the Rangers able to come back, and for the first time this season, they've won a game when they trailed going into the 3rd period.
He scores! And that is it. Got a little dicey toward the end, but the Flyers hold on to the Colorado Avalanche 5-3. Protas is in again. Protas drops it off. Closing step shot. Score! Spectacular passing play for Nick Dowd.
What a gutsy effort by the boys here tonight. Hard fought, leave it on the ice type of hockey game. This is a wonderful effort game by the Caps.
Most of the crowd on their feet in the Garden. Riley Smith trying to win it for Vegas in the bottom of the 5th. Scores! Riley Smith wins it and deals the Bruins their first loss on home ice this season. And the Golden Knights go 3-1 on the road trip.
With Vegas's shootout win over the Bruins, they have racked up franchise win number 235, and they've only played 400 games since their inaugural season in 2017. That's the most wins over any club's first 400 games in NHL history, including the 1979 Oilers that had a couple guys named Wayne Gretzky and Mark Messier. The future is now in New Jersey. The Devils' young core has led the way to the top of the Metropolitan Division, and they're showing no signs of slowing down. The architect of Jersey's turnaround, general manager Tom Fitzgerald, joined NHL Now to chat with E.J. Radek.
Tommy, thanks so much. for the time today. We really appreciate it. I want to take you back nearly 3 years ago, January 12th, 2020. Ray Shero is let go. You are moved into that role as the interim general manager. Obviously, must have been mixed emotions for you. Ray was your friend, your mentor, and now he's out and you're in that job. What was that day like for you? What were the emotions like?
I don't necessarily recall them being mixed emotions. The emotions that I had was that my friend and mentor was let go of his job, and they were asking me to jump in that seat. So shocked, just again, a whirlwind of a day for everybody here in the office. Again, not the way I thought I would land my first NHL job, but with that being said, there was no guarantees either. When I took the interim GM spot, there was no guarantees moving forward, but it was a sad day. Emotional day, head spinning day. My thoughts were with my friend and his family.
So moving forward now, you've been in that seat for a while. And I always like to ask managers in that first job after a couple of years, like, what is the biggest thing you've learned? Because it's one thing to be around the discussion. It's another thing to be the guy that has to make the decision. What have you learned the most? What has been the biggest lesson in the nearly 3 years?
Well, that the AGM position is the nicest position of any hockey operations job, which is true. But I think more the things that I've learned sitting in this seat is the processes that we've created for decision making, communication with ownership, communication within our hockey ops department, with scouting, coaches, pro amateurs. It's just creating those processes and constant communication to make sure everybody's aligned and on the same page.
How do you decide when you think you don't want to be around the team as the manager? Because as a former player and someone who's been around this game a long time, you probably have an instinct about when you need not to be there and when maybe you need to be there.
It's a great question. I don't know if I have the right answer. I think there's a feel for it. But you also have to understand, when I did take on that interim tag that we spoke of earlier, the pandemic was just starting. So I was constantly with my team, and that steamrolled right into the following season. It was a shortened year, and everybody was in the bubble. So you were around your team all the time, kind of rolled into last year a little bit as well. I've always thought of myself as somebody being able to go out and scout. I really enjoy it, being around prospects or a farm team or just going out and watching games. So I don't have any rhyme or reason for doing it. I just, maybe earlier in the year when I didn't make a trip to Detroit, I just felt like, let the team go. I want to go out and do some scouting, but no rhyme or reason really.
Now in this role, I got to ask you, the Devils have been off to this unbelievable start this year. Are you, we're surprised watching, we thought the Devils would be better. Are you as surprised as maybe everybody else is that it's gone this well?
Of course. But, the NHL, there's so much parity in our league. It's the greatest pro league there is because of it. At any game, anybody can beat anybody. We saw trends last year where our team was going. We made some adjustments and made some additions to our group. You get some goaltending, and you just never know. But this run, no, for sure. So we're just taking it day by day, enjoying it, and making sure we continue to do the right things. We say the right things and make sure we do the right things as well.
You mentioned the goaltending, and last year coming out to see your team, it really just was undermined by the number of goaltending injuries you had. I think you went through 7 or 8 goaltenders last year. It was a challenge. It was probably hard to evaluate kind of where you were at. You go out and you get Vitek Vanacek, who's come in and played really well for you. Why was he the right guy in your mind?
Well, we just looked for somebody who we felt had some upside, who could at least be a 1B tandem with Mackenzie Blackwood. We knew Jonathan Bernier, who we brought in for good reasons. would have a slow start. We're not sure when he would be back from his hip surgery. So we just wanted to solidify the position with someone with experience. And Vitek's still young, but he had a little bit of experience there in Washington. Played for some great teams, but just felt, can we get somebody in here who can push our other goalie and push each other and challenge each other for the net and earn it. And I think he's shown us that he's a battler, and he's really committed to his craft. He's the first guy on the ice every day. He's just a pleasure to be around. He's a great kid. He fits in really, really well with our group.
Yeah, you made a couple of moves in the offseason. They all seem to be paying off for you right now. One in particular has been really impressive for me. John Marino, bring him over from the Penguins. How impressed have you been with how he has fit in and how he's made a difference for you guys on the blue line?
Well, he's fit in seamlessly with our group. We've got good kids, and we've got a really good room. And bringing John in, knowing that we control him for the next bunch of years, his age fits in really well with where we're at. He's never not made the playoffs. Like, he expects to make the playoffs every year. So you inject people like that into your room. And like I said, it's been seamless.
The Devils have had a season to remember so far, tying and breaking franchise records. Their 20 wins are the most in the team's first 25 games in franchise history. They tied their longest winning streak back in November and are currently on a franchise-long 11-game win streak on the road. Back to Monday's action with the Top Shelf plays the night.
Down the middle, Shen, great save by Shesterkin. Oh, that's his best in a while.
Boy, you talk about being aggressive. Picked up by looking to spring him in. He's got to get on. Goal! Save by Carter Hart.
And watch the save by Carter Hart. Stretches across.
Half minute to go in the second. Pasternak pivots and scores! It's 3-2!
And this is just skill extraordinary. Now he's at the dot and he just rips it past Thompson. In tight here, Eller to the forehand. Score! Lars Eller.
That is a sweet deke by Lars. Look at the smiles all around.
Back to Carlson and the steal by McDavid. Short-handed breakaway. In on Lindgren. Scores!
It's unbelievable. One great stick here and a short-handed goal for McDavid. Goals in 5 straight now.
Awesome Kadri, Rasmus Anderson. Huberdeau down low with the pass. Kadri scores! The power play delivers again. Awesome Kadri.
What a nice-looking power play.
3 stars of Monday. Our third star of the night goes to Nazem Kadri as he nets his 33rd career game winner while also grabbing helpers on Calgary's first 2 goals. Paul Cotter is our second star of the night as he records his first 2-goal game of his career to help Vegas end the Bruins' home winning streak. First star honors go to Elias Pettersson, who potted the game winner in overtime in a wild game against the Habs. What a night in the NHL. Thanks for watching On the Fly. I'm Sierra Santos. Until next time, take it easy.
An emotional return for Bruce Cassidy to Boston tonight.
This is the game of the night in the NHL.
Riley Smith wins it!
Oh, that's his best in a while.
And this is just skill extraordinary.
To the net. Score! Short-handed goal.
Holy jumping, that is a thing of beauty.
What a game!